Hello, this is task 2D, video reflection activity for my growth goals. So my 3 growth goals are providing scales and rubrics to my students, tracking student progress, and recording and representing content. So in my career thus far, as a special education teacher with really small class sizes and a pretty intimate knowledge of the students that I have, in terms of it being, a small class size, and I'm able to, kind of intimately get to know each individual student's strengths and weaknesses, probably on a bit of a deeper level simply because there's less of them. Excuse me. I tend to rely on my gut and on my instinct, as well as obviously my knowledge of standards and, what the assignment is trying to accomplish when assigning grades or scores to projects and work that my students do. But I have never been great at codifying that. I've never, I understand my process, but if somebody was to come in and ask me to explain the process that I use to assess, how a student is doing and arrive at a final, assessment score, I'd be hard pressed to do that. And that's something that I've wanted to focus on for a long time, and I welcome the opportunity to do so now. I feel like I do have a lot of strengths as a teacher. This is one that these 3 goals are an area where it's not that I necessarily feel it's a weakness as much as it's an area where I haven't devoted a lot of time and attention. And I think it's something that deserves that time and attention. I think the students will be very empowered by not only, having a better understanding of my expectations, but also developing their own expectations. My experience with students has been that they typically have higher expectations than we do. So as far as collecting evidence for growth, obviously I'm going to create these artifacts, scales and rubrics, trackers, different ways to record and represent the content. I will have the students interact with them in a variety of ways, hard copy, electronic, digital response. I'm toying with the idea of using Schoology for its messaging capability, discussion board rather, capability, so that students can log in and leave comments on a particular assignment. And, I plan to use several of these, at least 3 or 4 of each of the 3 different growth goals that I have, and see what those results are. And as far as the pre-survey results go, it wasn't really a big surprise to me that the students also indicated that, these are areas that I could probably do a better job at. What jumped out at me was, excuse me, I've got a cold. I apologize for interrupting this video with my coughing. The students seemed to also indicate that, they felt these were areas that, I could pick up my game in a little bit. The standard deviation for providing scales and rubrics was double that of tracking student progress, so that was meaningful to me. That tells me that I've got, some tightening up to do on that goal specifically. Thank you very much. Look forward to getting the work done.